Hey everyone. Today I wanted to walk you through what I consider a good addition to anyone's income stream who is trying to self-publish and gain some traction, just to earn, I would say $500 to $1,000 a month. That is a fair amount if you're just looking to add to beef up your household income, or if you are or you're in retirement and you're just looking for an additional income stream. So, I do self-publish and I do printables, which is why I lean to this. But obviously, you're not beholden to it. This is just a creative idea to integrate AI into the tool that you're using for self-publishing. So right and on the screen, what you're going to see is I have a book up. I've been doing some research on what sort of prompted or guided journal would be helpful. I originally started with using public domain poems, and now I've ended up with, I think it might be a better selection to do a book for a poetry resource person, excuse me, as a way to prompt them to help them write better poems and really frame what they're trying to say on paper. I came across this book. I've been watching this for a few months. It's still in a good niche on KDP. I'll take using my tool here. I also have products that I sell on Amazon. So this tool right here is just helpful for a conservative match as to what's selling. They're saying that there's roughly 28 drops in this book every day, meaning 28 sales or units. I say it's conservative. It's usually slightly higher than that. I estimate it's probably 10 to 15 units higher than what it always gives me. But keep in mind, this book has been around for a while and it's got 420 reviews, which always helps with the sales. So as I look at it, it's very cute. It is their own ISBN. Doesn't look like they're using a self-published ISBN. It has 288 pages, and it was released in 2019. So it has been here for a while. But that doesn't mean you can't compete against it. As I look at the overall search term of poetry journal, there's plenty of them in here that are just generic journals that someone's saying is a poetry journal in their keywords. I like to see who I'm competing against that actually is putting poetry or the artist first. There's not that many, so this would mean, and to me, these are overdone, outdated, and scream China bulk wholesale. So as we look at this, you really want to customize something that's going to be unique and a wonderful gift, especially with Q4 coming. So this will be something for you guys to move on pretty quick. You'll go over here and you'll also notice that there's just over 4,000 people using this word, this keyword. However, this one is really, I think, gonna be a good addition if you would like. So what I like to do is also read the sample. There is no A+ content. This just tells you how much people like this book. They don't even need to do A+ content as extra promotions. So make sure you go up here and read the sample. This is what I always do. It's the cover. That's the inside page. Of course, the copyright, intro, how to use this. And then it just jumps straight in. So this is what the page looks like. It's prompting the writer with a specific task to accomplish that day. And here's a rhyming poem. You'll notice it's got cute graphics. They really took some time with this. So what I like to do, you can use Canva for illustrations, but I also like to go to Creative Fabrica. And I just started looking for thin line art botanical. Now the whole thing is we don't want to copy what they're doing. We want to make this our own, but this will give you some ideas of images you can download and put in your book. Like this could be one right here. You can make this a colored interior if you'd like for that extra touch as well. That might be an interesting one. It would be nice to look for some, just keep in mind, I'm about to say this, but it's going to narrow the niche down to women only, but embroidered botanical images could be a nice addition to the book. Again, it'll probably narrow the audience down to just women, so it is something to keep in mind. Okay, there's plenty to hear. If you're a member of Creative Fabrica, just download them. Make sure you're using the commercial license. I will tell you that it's very cost effective to join Creative Fabrica. I suggest everybody goes out to do it. I mean, this is a business at the end of the day. Just like I tell you to buy Canva Pro, I'm going to tell you to buy, I think it's like $40 or $50 a year. It is absolutely nothing compared to the content that you can get to put this in your book. Okay, I'm not going to worry about finding all of these right here. I'm just going to also show you how I would use Gemini to help create these prompts. So when you saw me do the read through, I actually took screenshots and then I went over to Gemini. You could do this in chat, you could do this in Claude. I just think Claude's overkill for it. And I haven't shown you anything in Gemini for a while, so I figured I'd try to use Gemini Live to see how this works. I put in my screenshots of the interior pages as a representation sample for reference, not to copy. And then this is what I'm going to say. Using these sample references, provide me, let's just go with 40 prompts just for sake. I mean, when you're doing this, you want to think about, you want it to last for a whole year, but you may not want to do 365 days in here. You may want to narrow that down to like 125, 150. I'm just going to do 40 for the sake of the video. Provide me 40 prompts that will inspire a poet to create a daily poem from the prompt. This is geared, meant for teens and adults. Prompts should, if I can't type, be inspirational and creative. Do not replicate the ones attached. Okay, let's just make sure I read through this. You are an expert product creator using the sample references attached. Of 40 prompts that will inspire a poet to create daily poems. Create a daily poem based on the prompt. The clearer that you can get it, the better this will come out. Okay, we can see how this is going to end up. I've never tried this before in Gemini, so let's see how it goes. I like doing these things real time so you can see that. Don't be intimidated. I mean, we're all learning AI as we go, and one thing that I have learned is I don't like to throw slop out there. You really want this to be something that is a tool. It is not doing the work for you. So anytime I'm going to create a list like this, I'm still going to compare that list, read through it, make sure it's something that I like. Okay, so these are good. It's giving me a mixture. It's actually giving me more than I expected. It's doing perspectives, emotional journeys. Wow. Okay. I like this. So then let me show you what I would do. I would go to Canva. Now you'll notice that book size when we were in it was like 7.6 by 9.88. I am going to stick with a standard commercial size for the US. You pick whatever you want. I'll do 6x9, create design. And I also like to come down, as you know, around 45.45 from my ruler. Where did I start here? 10? No, 9. Okay. Okay. All right. Now I've got my margins set up. What I also want to now do is go to, I think it's elements. We may have to go to templates, notebook, lines. There we go. I would just choose graphics here. And we're looking for something that the user can easily write on. And again, this is meant to be inspirational, not cutesy. You can also make these funny, make these romantic, however you might want to do those. So let's see. I think I'm just going to stick with the standard for the sake of the video. I don't really like this one. I know I was going to say this for the sake of the video, but I really want to make sure it looks right. Because I am going to publish one of these, so this will be a good start. Okay, so again, these are meant for short poems. I'm going to come over here to my list and select my first prompt. Just copy it, paste. Here's your little bar. It's easy to move, or button. Now, I don't like this font. We want font that looks better than Canva Sans. Please do not use Canva Sans as your go-to. Let's pick something. Yep, there we go. I'm beginning to love this font more and more. Playwright. Now, we would like to keep or create an illustration. So this is, obviously we could do botanicals just like the book did, but I kind of want to pick an illustration that represents a secret. So let's type in secret. I want to stay in graphics, keeping with the feel. This looks interesting. Okay. Now I am going to duplicate this page so I can just duplicate the lines, and you'll see what I'm doing here as I get through. Okay. What you want to do is delete that image, delete this. Figure out how to delete. The thing that I forgot to show you is just to duplicate these pages for as many as you want. I do not feel like I need to separate these with a blank page like you would for a coloring book, but that would be up to you if you'd like to do that. I personally feel like they're going to be writing in pencil or pen, and it'd be perfectly fine using the Amazon paper. So then I just take that next step and go over here. Now let's do a smile. Again, you're trying to stay in the same stylistic approach. And if I want this to be more centered over here, just simply move it around. Okay. And so that's how I would go through every single one of these. really tailoring the illustration to the inspirational need that you're hoping comes out as the buyer is reflecting to create their poem. I hope you find this helpful. If you do, let me know. If you got any comments, let me know. Is this how you would approach this sort of market? I think, I would take sales of roughly 30 to 40 a month with 10 of these any day, instead of trying to chase the latest trend with coloring books and cozy girls and bold and easy or crosswords and word searches. It's really a way to find your own little home in a very saturated marketplace. But keep in mind, you can also sell this information or this book on Barnes and Noble, your own websites, etc. So you're not limited to KDP. It might be good for you to just get started, but this is also an excellent way to pull in AI and help you with the idea, help you create this. Now, one of the things that I can show you in another video is how to take this concept once it's finished being built and have AI help me write a title, a high converting listing description, and back-end search terms. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. That's all right. Talk to you later. Bye.